All right, so shalom, shalom. First and foremost, start off by saying Barakatham, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole elect throne with the 144,000. Shalom. All right, so real quick before I go ahead, before me and the brothers go ahead and do the sit down, I wanted to go into a lesson. Lord willing, right? And it's titled, I'll title this one, Are You Really Rooted? Right? And the reason why I titled that, in the parable with, Yahweh Shah was telling the disciples in Matthew 13, right? I'm just going to get straight to the point, Lord willing, for time's sake, Matthew 13 and verse 21, right? Because you understand that we understand this word is His truth, right? Luke 8 and 11, right? The seed is His word. It's like I said, the word is truth. It's like it's on twist. The seed is His word, right? The seed is the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, in that ground, and that ground is our minds. Right, that grounds our mind. So you can, if the seed is planted, in the ground, if you hit His word, your mind will receive it, and the water teaching it was help you grow, right? And you have ones who receive that truth. Give an example of three of them. The first one, the first one is slack you real fast. Hold on, gotta grab something. Slack, I'll be right back. Slack you for that. All right, so slack you for that, right? So, right, getting back to it, Matthew 13 and verse 21, right? It's like as I was saying, my thought just came back to me as I was saying, right? Verse 19 is talking about, the ones who, they hear His word, hear His truth. It don't even hit the ground. It don't even hit their minds for real. Some always come up to distract them. They unfocused. They don't really want to hear the word, right? And the one who hear the thorns that hear the word and carry this world, right? You had the leaders, like for example, the leaders of these camps, those sellouts, those ones who hear the word and then as it says, the care of this world or the deceitfulness riches, right? They sell out. They go another way about it. They turn on the truth, right? That's why it says to choke them and become unfruitful, right? But what I want to go into today, right, is the ones who have no root, right? So this is Matthew 13, 20 and verse 21. It says, but he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word and with joy receive it. So they hear the word, they hear the good things, they hear the sweet. It's like a bad word. They hear the sweet, man. They hear the good things of the word. Remember, Apostle John said what? It was my mouth sweet as honey and my stomach bitter. So we know that's the sweet and the bitter with it, but other people, they hear the sweet, right? They don't really attend to the bitter part of it, right? And it says, yet he hath no root in himself, but endureth for a while. But when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he's offended. Right? So they have no root because why? When you understand the times we're in now, Jacob's trouble, and things are going to continue wrapping up, because Esau knows he's out of time, right? The scriptures tell you what? Esau coming down with great wrath because he had but a short time, right? So persecution and tribulation is going to continue to rise up. In the last days, it's going to be perilous time, meaning dangerous times, right? So in these last days, you're going to see a lot of that persecution and that tribulation, but you can have the ones who ain't rooted within this truth all the way, right? And guess what? They're going to fall away, right? They do it for a while. They hear the good part of it, but now when it's time to really, when it's game time, when it's fourth quarter crunch time, they don't show up, man, right? They don't show up, you know. And the whole time, you know, the whole time as Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Rumlai, you know, Elder Apostle Gabar, you always say what Elder Apostle Rumlai was talking about, unless he was doing, these people don't know. These people don't know what they're getting themselves in. They don't know what they're getting themselves into, right? They're coming to the truth, thinking everything gonna be happy, holly jolly. No, right? The scriptures tell you we were meant to suffer, man. Coming to the truth, we were set to face tribulation, right? We were set to face hardship. And the scriptures tell you that the ones who overcome that hardship, those are the same that's gonna be saved, right? You know? So this is 2nd Ezra 16, right? In verse 73, if I'm not mistaken, right? And it says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So we're going to be tried as the gold in the fire, the tribulation, the hardship, the suffering, the pain. We're going to be tried, man. That's part of this mirror. That's part of this truth, right? We're supposed to be tried. We're going to be tried. That's what comes with it, right? But when you overcome it and fight through the spirit, probably how about Shaka? Remember, they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, word of his testimony. We got the spirit of prophecy. You know, we understand the sign. We got the truth, right? We got the biggest weapon that's gonna take down all of them. This word is true, you know. And when you do the will of the Father, Yahushua say, "You are my friend," right? So we got Yahushua on our side, which is going to come and bring destruction upon this place. We got Yahushua on our side, which are going to take this place down, right? But when you do it for a while and you give up because they have persecution and tribulation here, you ain't got no root for real. So guess what happened? Those are gonna be rooted up and cast into the you know, the pit of fire, right? Meaning what? That pit of fire is what? It's destruction, the nuclear power, the nuclear destruction that's going to come upon Babylon, right? Quick precept real fast. Luke 23, right? Luke 23 in verse 31. It says, "For if they do these things in a green tree, things are good, and you know, things are, you know, quote unquote, not at the tribulation not at the all persecution tribulation not at the all time high right now, right? Then we seeing ICE ramping up doing these things, but they ain't coming down. They're really gonna come down to where if you don't take this chip or you don't follow out this new world order, we beheading you, we're killing you, right? But things are harsh now. Things are getting bad right now, and the people falling away. They giving up now. As it says, what shall be done in the dry? So if they can't handle when things ain't even all the way at its peak, imagine what they gonna do when things are at its peak with it. When Esau, because you gotta think, the Most High gonna put the spirit in them to bring that wrath, to bring destruction. Remember, hide from them which are your sword, which are your hand. Really paraphrasing. They only gonna do these things because Yahushua gonna allow them to do it. You know, and you gotta be prepared. That's that ultimate test. Elder Pastor Hart always talk about it, right? It's gonna be an ultimate test for all of us, right? It ain't gonna just be you, him. No, it's gonna be for all of us. As you see, it's Jacob's trouble. No, that's the whole nation of Israel, the northern and southern kingdom. It's gonna be an ultimate test for all of us. You know, so are you really rooted in to withstand and fight and stay strong in the faith, right? Because remember, you know, what Paul said. What is that? 2 Thessalonians 4. No, I think it's 1 Thessalonians. Bear with me. 4. No, 2 Thessalonians 3 and 4. It's like it. Yeah, hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, 1 Thessalonians 3 and 4, right? It says, right, I started verse 3. It says that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves knew that we were appointed thereunto. So these are things that were set for us. Every temptation, all things we face, Yahushua created for us to face it. Because those ones who trust in him and withstand to the end, guess what? Those same ones are going to be saved, which we're going to get into, right? It says, for verily when we were with you, we told you before that we would suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, ye know. Right? So we were supposed to be, this is what was set for us. This is what we were going to go through. Right? As I said, we chose things, Romans 15 and 4. Things are written 4 times for our learning. right? That's how you know a lot of these guys ain't rooted in. They're not really into the word for real. They just hearing the good things out of it. They just hearing the get things that make them look good or sound good or feel good unto them. They're not really rooted in this thing. They're not really ready to accept the bitter and the sweet. They ain't eating the whole roll, man, right? So he bring out another quick precept real fast for time's sake. Right, this is Matthew 10, right? And this is going into when Yahushua, he's telling the disciples to go into Samaria, but don't go into the way of the other nations of Samaria, going to the Israelites, because during that time, there's a lot of people brought into the Salmashar, right? I'm saying his name right. He brought all those people into the land of Samaria, right? Because you got to know Jake then was going off, right? So you had a lot of Jake who was carried away captive, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was some Jake who was still in that. It was some Jake who was still in that land. That's why he went in there, right? And how shot telling the 12, like, hey, go into those Israelites amongst the other nations, right? And he telling them, right? He telling them, right? He said, look, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpent, harmless as dove. Because why? The serpents who Esau eat on, but you got to think. When you teach the truth, teaching his word, right? His word like a two-edged sword, cut deep. They don't want to hear it. They despise it. Right? Then they hate Yahushua, right? They hate Yahushua. This word is truth. Teaching his word, teaching the truth. You cutting them deep. The truth hurts. They don't want to hear it. So you tell them, I'm seeing you forth as a sheep in the midst of wolves. These people are going to be crazy, doing whatever. They're going to persecute you, hate you, come against you, right? What you going to get to, he said, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for testimony against them and the Gentiles. So you're going to be brought before these people, right? But this is your time to tell them, hey, we stand for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Those who go through the goal, and then you're going to be, what the scripture say, then shall we know who am I chosen. Because we're not going to fold during these times. We really rooted in this thing, man, right? He says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the spirit of your Father speaketh in you. And brothers shall deliver up the brother unto death, and the father the child. The children shall raise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Right? See how I telling them, you're going to be hated by all men. So you're going to have to be rooted in. Because if you ain't got that, you're going to have to put that thick coat on, man. You can't be caring about what they think about you. You can't be caring about what they're going to do to you. We only fear we can hurt their soul and body in hell. Right? Because you're going to be hated. He tells you you're going to be hated for all men for my sake. But he there and do it to the end and say, shall be saved. Yahushua knew the things we're going to face with being in this truth. But he telling you the ones who rooted in, who endure to the end, they're going to be saved. Right? It said, well, when they shall persecute you in this city, flee to another. For verily I say unto you, you should not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. Right? So how shall I face these things? Guess what? We're going to face these things. We're going to go through these things, man. Right? These are things that we're going to face. We're going to go through. Right? Bear with me. I have one more precept I want to go into. Let me see. Yeah. Coming out to take them for we do the sit down. So bring out a quick precept real fast, and we'll close it out, get ready to do the sit down, right? So this is I had another precept in mind that I was finna go into, man. It just slipped my mind. Brought out Matthew's I want to bring out account in Acts with Paul, right? And this other day this just juiced me up. The other day I was watching the Elder Apostle Gabar and a bunch of other elders. They were doing a live. They was doing a live stream yesterday, and we brought this precept out because it was titled, the basic they was going into how we supposed to endure suffering, we supposed to endure pain, supposed to endure hardship, who been in this truth, right? And how the men before us faced these things, and how we're going to face these things just as well. We might, things might not just be at this peak right now, right? But things is coming. Things finna get harsh. Things finna get bad, right? Alas, that great day. Let me paraphrase Jeremiah 37. Jacob trouble gonna be, it's gonna be harsh, right? Daniel 12:1 is gonna be harsh. But guess what? When we're doing to the end, it ain't gonna be saved. So this Acts 21, Verse 11, it says, when he was coming to, it's talking about Paul, right? It says, when he was come to us, he took Paul's girdle and bound his own hands and feet and said, this saith the Holy Spirit. So shall the Jews at Jerusalem bind the man that owneth the girdle and shall deliver him to the hands of the Gentile. Right? So this is Jake. This is Jake ready to turn Paul over. Right? It's Jake ready to turn him over to the nations. And when I'm taking the time, this is the wrong. They always say it's the wrong thing. Paul's in the time of the Greeks. Let's see. But anyways, point is, the Lord willing, we'll go into that more. Right? When I'm mistaken, it's time with the Greeks, but they ready to turn him over, right? They ready to turn him over, right? And let's see. It says in verse 11, it says, when he heard these things, both we and they of that place besought him not to go up to Jerusalem. So they tell him, like, look, Paul, don't go into Jerusalem. They're going to kill you. They're going to hurt you, right? And that's what Paul said. Then Paul answered, what mean ye to weep and to break my heart? It's like then Paul answered, what mean ye to weep and to break my heart? For I am ready to not only be bound, for I'm not ready to be bound only, but also to die at Jerusalem for the name of the Lord Yahushua. You know? So we always ruled in this thing. But Paul said, I'm ready to die for the truth, man. Right? Whatever come with this truth, that's what we going with. We ain't ducking nothing and we ain't running from nothing. You know? This is what come with it, and we ready for it. You know? So you gotta be all the way rooted in this truth, man. You know? So, are you really rooted in? That's titled lessons, some Lord willing. Those lessons quick and edifying. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole elect. Starting with the 144,000. Shalom.